The market is making investors a ton of money and we must stay ahead. So in this video, I'm going to give you some urgent trades and updates on stocks that I hold, such as SOFI, PLTR, NVIDIA, and Tesla. I'm going to break down the technical analysis and I'm going to give you what I see happening next for these stocks for the rest of July going into August. Now, the first stock that I want to cover is going to be PLTR. So far this morning, we got a big bull run, and this is very urgent information for you to take advantage of because it is ready for a further breakout. The volume is expanding. Let's go to the chart right here, and I want to show you what's going on with PLTR stock and how it's heading to $150 per share very quickly. So check this out. PLTR is heading towards the top of its Bollinger Band, and the top of the Bollinger Band here is around $146 per share. And I believe we're going to have a very big breakout because if you just look at the volume, all the selling pressure is already out of this stock. Right now, investor psychology is basically this. All the the weak investors that didn't really have that much conviction in the stock have already gotten out, and now we're going up despite pretty much red days of selling. However, the volume is not that big. So what I expect to happen is pretty much this pattern to continue. See, there's like a lot of selling pressure and then tons of buying, because long term people are pretty much always buying stocks since the market goes up. We've had a big red selling pressure day. You can also see the double bottom pattern here at around 130, which is why I've been selling puts on PLTR. Right now, if we go to my PLTR position, it's actually looking insane. I'm up over 500% on PLTR. Right now you see 533%. I'm up $316,000 on PLTR, and I think that we're going to break through the $150 level. When the stock goes up and the trading volume is fairly low, it's actually very interesting because there's going to be more volume coming in, and I really only see one way, which is investors continuing to buy up the stock because of the past trend. And basically what PLTR is doing, you look at the accumulation right now, smart money, institutions, funds, they're buying up this stock slowly. That's why I believe the volume is actually fairly low, is because they don't want to move the stock too much. When there's a lot of volume in the short term, the stock ends up having a huge spike. And right now we see a lot of, I believe, smart money to be coming in slowly. I don't see much dumping at all. You can just see we have many continual days of upward action. And yeah, if we just over the 6 months, I mean, this stock has picked up a lot of growth. However, if we look at the 1 year, it's obviously very insane. I've been in this stock since IPO. You can see 1 year here. I mean, absolute monster. Like, it's so freaking pretty much easy to get rich with PLTR. And see what's going on here is if you look at July 3rd, the big beautiful bill that Trump was talking about, it's actually a very bullish indicator for PLTR. According to news, the bill will allocate an additional $150 billion to military expenditures, some of which will fund next-generation capabilities such as AI. So PLTR is the prime AI play. It's literally, if you want to make bicep over tricep money, if you want to make back over chest, if you want to get big gains, I'm telling you, and I've been telling you, this is the time to make hand over fist money. Right now, the market's very easy. This is the prime time for you to stack cash and grow your portfolio very quickly, to go from, say 100K to 300K, or, just multiplying your money very quickly. And the big beautiful bill, I think, will have a really positive impact on PLTR. And if you look at the commercial revenue, it's growing faster than government contracts for the very first time. And that's how you know that this isn't just a defense company anymore. It's becoming an AI operating system for the private sector. And I really believe that PLTR will be $200 in 2026. PLTR isn't just advancing AI, it's democratizing it. Hard word to say for me. So most enterprise platforms still gate AI behind technical teams, but with AIP, PLTR hands the keys over to the business operator. Now, anyone in the front lines can interact with powerful models using plain language. So this is what real enterprise AI adoption will look like, because now every employee at an organization can use AI. So say that someone has, whatever, I'm not bashing anyone, but if someone has an 80 IQ, with PLTR AIP, they're literally going to be operating at 120 IQ. It literally raises your capabilities to execute, and it literally raises your IQ. So PLTR is creating more efficiency for companies, and businesses need to leverage that. They have to leverage AI. It's pretty obvious. And they're essentially turning a regular employee into someone that's like PhD level. just from allowing them to have access to a game-changing software. And you don't really need code. You don't need to know how to model or analyze data. Just type in whatever you want in plain English, and Palantir does all the heavy lifting for you. So it's really giving workers a personal advantage, like having a data scientist on command. So to wrap up, Palantir, I'm very bullish. I'm still holding the stock. Look, if you're looking at selling put options, I still think the put option that I believe I recommended last week, the 130 sell put, it has printed money. It has literally printed cash in your pocket. Your pockets are flooded, okay? And that's good. That's good. I think Palantir has more room to flood your pockets. So make some room there, okay? Make some room in your pocket, because we're about to make even more money. And the strength that I see in Palantir as well is that they have no competition. You look at the competition, it's like, nah, there's not even close. And they have such good relationships with the government and connections. You already know, connections is how you get rich, right? You think laws apply to rich people? Not so much, right? You look at why are the Epstein files not being out there and stuff like that. Not to get too political, but the rich and powerful control the government, right? So the rules don't apply to them. And when you look at Palantir, we can play into that, because the rich and powerful people are going to keep making money. You can bet on that. Oh, believe me. You want to bet on a trend? The poor people are going to get more poor, unfortunately. Your time is to get rich now, and your time to get rich is by making money with other rich people. That's the way you get rich, okay? Simple set. It's unfair. Life's unfair, okay? You want to get rich? You want to get bicep over tricep money? Be invested in, just follow where the money flows, okay? It's not even Palantir. I don't get paid to talk about it. Just, I'm not sponsored by them. Just pick stocks that you follow where the money goes, okay? Now, talking about SPY, let's move away from Palantir. Let's talk about SPY real quick. We're at 62.50. I think that SPY as a whole will be around 6,500 in 2025. So that's not a lot of upside, but there's going to be pockets of SPY that will have crazy growth, which I predict will be AI. It's not even a hard prediction to make. It's what I've been trading with all my students. It's why I have the most successful option trading community in the world. And it's because we're just invested in AI stocks. It's just as simple as that. And obviously using options as well to generate income and cash flow. What I see happening for SPY is I think there's a lot of macro tailwinds that are going to be positive for tech and AI. So one of them being the Fed pivot. So you look at rate cuts, there is an expectation in late 2025 for a rate cut. And with inflation cooling, that is very bullish for equities. So you look at AI spending as well, continued CapEx, and that's going to boom across all of the S&P 500 firms that are integrating AI into their workflows. So a combination of lower interest rates plus more AI spending, I'm telling you, we're about to make some dough. We're about to get stupid rich. Not stupid, stupid rich, okay? Look at defense stocks. They're also gaining a lot of attention because geopolitically, you see what's going on. Israel and Iran. You got India and Pakistan. You got Russia and Ukraine, which I'm very close to. I'm in Poland, not too far from Russia and Ukraine. And you look at that, and the war, unfortunately, war equals money. War equals moolah, all right? So it is what it is. Look, we're here as investors. We're trying to get rich. We're trying to retire. That's our goal, right? So politics aside, war aside, that's not in our hands. Of course, as good people, we would not want that, but might as well profit off of it, right? That's just how life is. Let's look at the reality of it, all right? Also, crypto is at an all-time high. You got Bitcoin at over 120,000. So that's actually very bullish for certain stocks such as Robinhood and Coinbase. Those are two other stocks which I don't have in the title of this video, but are also very smart plays. Now, let's talk about SOFI. SOFI, man, oh man. If I made you some money, please just like the video, subscribe, because I know with SOFI, we made dough. We made so much money. It's insane. And what I see happening with SOFI right now is we've had a lot of growth in the short term. Technically, the Bollinger Band has expanded so far. I think we're going to get a little bit of a halt in the short term. SOFI is probably going to chill a bit, okay? But I'm looking at acquiring more via selling put options. I also still love their member flywheel plus their LTV expansion model. So what that looks like is, and they're not playing checkers, they're playing chess. They're playing chess with their flywheel model, get people in the door. And then SoFi has their own financial matrix. There's the American matrix. When you're on the rat wheel, you slaving away. I know I upset people with that comment. I said doctors and lawyers and engineers are kind of slaving away, and people got upset at that. But the reason why people got upset is it's kind of the truth. I love doctors because they help people. That's amazing. Helping people is great. I love helping people myself. But I'm talking about it from a financial perspective and a time perspective, obviously not a moral perspective. Morally, it's great. Thank God. Thank you for your service. But, I think a lot of people are overworked. Doctors working very hard hours, very long hours, and they're kind of stuck in that matrix. And that's why, more so than ever, I encourage you to reach out to me, to schedule a consultation with me if you are in that position where you are doing well, but you just can't seem to really get to retirement fast enough. And you're making good money, but you're tired, and you want that secondary source of income and to reach retirement faster. I'm here for you. I don't know how much more time I have. Literally and figuratively, but I am still here to provide students with skills and holding their hand throughout the journey to get to retirement as fast as possible. So we have some spots, schedule a call, and SoFi has their own financial matrix, which is get people in the door, and once you're in the door, it's like child support. You either pay it or you're going to jail. All right, that's SoFi. You either pay it or you're going to jail. And their growth strategy is this: bring people in the door with one product. Doesn't really matter what product. They don't care. Come in with a student loan. It's all good. Come in with a student loan. Let's build a relationship. That's SoFi. They're kind of like, look, it's a little bit of an interesting strategy. They get you in the door, and that's it. They lock you up. They have a baby with you. That's it. You're locked up. You got to pay that child support. And of course, I'm making some jokes here, but it really is like that because they have crazy LTV, lifetime value of a customer at very low acquisition cost, and they have low CAC, customer acquisition. If you've seen my last video or anything like that, and you subscribed or you're part of, viewing my videos, you know what I mean. Also, they're using interesting strategies such as referral rewards, sponsorships, partnerships, and lots of heavy marketing. So heavy marketing is where it's at for customer acquisition. That's the most important thing. I think we're going to cool off. I want to continue to be bullish, but we already made a lot of money. It's time right now to preserve our position on SoFi, hedge it a bit. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. In 5 minutes, I got to go. I have my Discord call. So let's wrap things up. Let's go to Tesla, and then I'll wrap up with QQQ. Tesla's in a tight channel on the Bollinger Band. Huge bounce. A lot of investors really like it at 280. So we had a heavy bounce, and now we're in the middle of the Bollinger Band. I suspect that Tesla, Elon Musk and his politics aside, as long as he doesn't do anything too crazy, which he's already done a lot of crazy stuff, I think investors are pretty much accustomed to that at this point. Tesla will go back into a fair bullish mode. They have earnings on July 23rd, which is actually very, very soon after the market close at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. I haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do for earnings yet. Probably some option selling, probably some put selling, some covered calls. I expect Tesla to go up towards the 330 range. And we're in time to make a lot of money with the volatility. So it's going to be very interesting here over the next 2 weeks. Also, if you look at the limited launch in Austin, it's live. So with expansion plans and pricing target hikes tied to its potential, if we get some updates on that and some positive updates, that's going to be very good news. I did forget, I did want to cover NVIDIA. I have a few more minutes here. So NVIDIA, anyways, what my thesis on Tesla is, Tesla has a good bull case with Robotaxi, and I'm very excited for their earnings. I'll update you closer to that earnings during later this week. Now, NVIDIA specifically, the valuation thesis for NVIDIA is that it's very cheap. It's actually very cheap. If you look at the earnings, to 2028 earnings, when I look at that, it's going for the cheapest valuation of all Mag 7 stocks in terms of future earnings, right? In today's earnings, Google is the best, and then Apple's up there too. But in future earnings, given if NVIDIA accomplishes what analysts think it will accomplish and what I think it will accomplish, then there's no question about it that the valuation is very good. And if you look at data center, plus automations that they're making, plus their healthcare applications, plus AI, plus all these fields, I mean, NVIDIA is gonna kill it. And also, they're pretty smart about their financial engineering. Okay, that's a new term here, financial engineering. So they are buying back their shares, which just means that investors, me and you, we're going to be able to print more cash, because when a company buys back shares, there's more scarcity. And you already know when something's more scarce, it's worth more, right? It's perceived more or more value, because it's just supply and demand, simple economics 101. NVIDIA has a lot of dominance. They control 90% of training compute for AI, 80% of inference compute in production AI models. So if you look at their competitors are still at the starting line. It's like Usain Bolt. Maybe he's not the fastest at the start, but at the end, he makes other people, the best in the world, look slow. And that's kind of where NVIDIA is at. It's a sprint. There's a lot of money to be made short term. So this is an important stock to be invested in if you're looking to make short-term fast cash. NVIDIA is selling shovels in the AI gold rush, and it also owns the mine. So it has its cake and it's eating it too, or whatever that saying is. And the next big catalyst, and this is why it's really urgent, and look, I know we're in July right now, but they have earnings in August 27th. You want to be early, because as earnings approach, everyone buys the stock, and it typically has a big increase. So I think now this week to make money, for today, for this week in general, I'd be buying up a bit of NVIDIA, but I'd also be producing income through covered calls. It's not necessarily cheap. The stock's trading at 163 right now. Taking a look at the momentum, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. You have made so much money. This is the best time to be an investor in growth stocks. So I think you should really be watching out for their earnings quarter. And when that comes out, I'll be looking at their Blackwell chips and how that's rolling out. Look, export controls and geography is also very important. So keeping an eye on China and the Middle East sales, especially given recent export licensing hiccups that they have had, is going to be very valuable, because they are going to be making a lot of money overseas. So I'm looking very closely at that. And last but not least, QQQ. In 2020, 2021, tech surged, and it surged a lot from cheap money and hype. There was COVID and PPP loans, and a lot of people had access to cash. They were sitting at home trying to make some money, and there was a lot of dumb money in the market. But in 2025, I really think that we're surging. I know that we're surging on cash flow, real infrastructure, and AI transformation. So companies like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Broadcom, they're not just like tech companies, they're essential utilities. I don't cover Broadcom as much. I don't see as much growth, but I'm just very bullish. So look, if you want help, I'm here for you. I have a boot camp that's starting next week, and we're going to kill it. We're going to kill it with or without you. I hope it's with you. No pressure. Schedule a call. Learn more about the coaching that I have. We're just going to absolutely kill it, man. We're just making so much money, and I only see it continuing, okay? In 2025, biggest opportunity that we've had. So let's make some money. Let's get rich. I'll see you in the next one.